Jen Davidson joins us down in North Carolina. Good morning.
Morning.
It's good to see you, Jen. It's good to see you getting ready for Qatar for the CISM, the military championships. When do you leave?
We leave on Monday.
Yeah. Yes, me too.
So this week going to be pretty busy. Yep.
Yes.
Are you going to be there?
Yes. Yes. So I'm.
Awesome! It'll be great to see you.
Yeah, I'll see you there. We'll do an in-face interview as well, in-person interview. That's what I was meaning to say. Four-way in-face. Jen, who's the team? Is it the same team that you did the four-way with at the Nationals?
No. So CISM, the way that CISM runs, they actually have a men's category and a women's category. So there's no open, there's no co-ed, anything like that. So it's everybody from the Nationals team except for me. And then we had to bring up one of the guys from our B team to fill in for me.
All right. And so what's your role?
I'm going as the coach.
Okay. Good. It's an interesting event, isn't it? It's my first time being involved in CISM. You've been involved before.
Yeah, when I was on the women's four-way team, CISM was a big event for us. So we would go and compete in the women's category. It's definitely run differently than any other skydiving meet. The way that, there's the 3 events, and those events are four-way, style, and accuracy. And all the competitors, it will be the same competitors that compete in all 3 events. So there's not separate teams for each event. And then in addition to that, the four-way is different than IPC four-way. So instead of launching, there's only 8 blocks in the whole dive pool. There's only 8 rounds. And so there's 1 block per round. So it's all randoms in a block. Every round starts with a star, and you take the star out the door and you can hold it up for up to 5 seconds.
Right.
And your time to start until you break the star or 5 seconds have elapsed. So it's fun to compete in this four-way because every round is fast. Yeah. So the averages are super high, and it's a lot of fun.
I didn't realize it was the same athletes doing all 3 disciplines. I thought it was different people. I thought it was so that's good news. That's good information for me to learn already. Yeah.
Yeah, the four-way team is the 4 in-slot flyers, and then they have an alternate. And then the camera guy would be the camera guy for both the men's team and the women's team. Yeah. And the camera guy doesn't do style and accuracy, but the 5 competitors that do the slot flying and the alternate would also compete as a 5-person accuracy team and also do style. So,
and I only learned recently as well, it's not only parachuting, it's like the Olympics of military sports. Everything's there, isn't it?
Everything is there every 4 years. So every 4 years, all the sports get together and do a big one. So last year in China, or 2019 in China, all the events were there. And then in 2015, I think it was in Korea.
Yes.
All the events were there. So every 4 years it's big, but on all the, I guess, the off years, all the events still take place, but they're all spread out all over the world.
I'm taking good notes here. I'm learning on the job about what I'm doing next week. This is good information. And I mean, when I think of your team, Golden Knights Female 4, I always think of these epic battles with you and the French. It was so much drama. It was like a Hollywood movie every time.
We did have a tendency to compete till the last minute. It always was, we were always tied going into round 10 or having to do a jump off or something like that. So we definitely made it interesting, that's for sure.
Is it 10 years ago, 2011, when the team was put together?
Our women's four-way team was put together in 2011. Yeah. So yeah, wow, 10 years ago. That's crazy.
Yeah. And you were quite fixed on being with the dark side. You were a VFS.
I was, yeah. I actually, when they asked me to go to the team, I told them no, because I was trying to get a VFS team put together and to try to bring VFS to the Golden Knights.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the way the Army works is sometimes you gotta, they were like, well, you're the best person for the job. So you're gonna go do this thing. So I had to do that. But I mean, it's been a great years, I think, on the comp team now. So I've learned a lot and I've gotten to do a lot and meet a lot of people. So I'm not mad that I came over to the competition side in one way or another. Yeah. So even though it couldn't be with the VFS.
And what 10 years it's been, multiple world championships, multiple gold medals, indoor and outdoor with the team. An incredible performance, really outshines some of the skydiving done in the last 20 years. Really, really special stuff.
Yeah, it's been a great ride. So going to a lot of those world meets were just incredible experiences, and competing with the team, and then moving over to 8-way and learning a new discipline with some of the guys that I had been on the Golden Knights with for a long time, and getting to compete with them and go into the world meet and different discipline. Like, that was a lot of fun.
Yes. And the 8-way, you just had the nationals. It continues now to next year as well.
I think some news will be put out about that shortly. So I don't think we right now, I'm not sure if the 8-way team's gonna continue, but right. Yeah, we'll have to talk about that.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that one. So how did it begin for you, Jen? Your skydiving, did you have anybody in your family who was involved in any air sports at all?
No, not at all. My dad did a tandem skydive when I was 12, I think, and that was pretty much it. I had never even been in an airplane until I went to basic training when I was almost 18.
Yeah.
So but I remember when I was younger, just wanting to skydive or wanting to fly so badly, it would like make my stomach hurt. And I never got the opportunity until if we went on vacation, we drove, stuff like that. So finally I got to, when I went to basic training, joined the Army, went to basic training, and never looked back.
Did you see any displays or any parachute displays or skydivers anywhere when you were small, when you were a child?
I really didn't, not until I was when I went to college. Yeah. I had a class with a woman that was a local jumper, and so I remember talking to her, but I don't know, like, I think I was like, well, I turned 18. So I actually turned 18 when I was in basic training. So when I got home from basic training, I was like, well, I'm an adult. I want to do something that you can't do till you're 18. And so I landed on skydiving. And so I didn't know where I could even do it. I ended up, I don't know if you remember the Sky Ride, the 1-800 website that's kind of scammy.
No.
So it's not around anymore, I don't think, but so I just Googled it, or whatever it was you did at that time. And so I found a drop zone, and it led me to a drop zone. I drove 4 hours across the state past like 3 other drop zones that it didn't tell me about to get to this drop zone that I did a tandem at. And then so I had to drive this really much for where to find a drop zone. I didn't know anyone to ask or anything like that, so I ended up doing that. And it's funny because I ended up, when I went to college, I went to the University of Iowa, which was very near that drop zone, so it ended up being where I went through AFF later on, like years later. What was the drop zone? It was a little drop zone called Paradise Skydives in Vinton, Iowa. It's not open anymore.
When you were younger, were you as crazy on athletes and as being an athlete as you are now? Were you mad on sports?
No, I was not athletic at all. I ended up maybe when I was like in high school, I got a little more into sports and stuff like that. I played soccer. I ran cross country, not well, but I, I did it. And I played, just recreational basketball, basketball and softball, but I wasn't really, I really like to read. I was super nerdy. So I was an indoor guy, and I've really kind of grown into it as I got older.
CrossFit, how did that come into your life? Just part of being in the army, or was it something you searched out especially?
So for that, I think when Matt and I got together, Matt was really into CrossFit. He kind of got in when it became like a new thing. So he introduced me to it a little bit, and we started going to a gym together. And then I kind of bounced around gyms to find one that really fit me. And then I didn't really get into it until I think it was the end of 2015. Yeah. And that was where I found a gym that with the community was amazing and the programming was really good. And so that's when I kind of really, really got into it.
Yeah. With all your championships, I mean, there's so many, Jen. I was having a read through of your statistics. It's so impressive with your world championships and medals everywhere. Which, when you think back over the last 10 years, which one comes to mind first as being, which one would you say is the deepest in your heart?
I think that there was a nationals at Eloy, and I actually can't remember if it's 2012 or 2013, but it was the first year that my women's team made it onto the podium. So it was actually a third place in the open category at the US Nationals, but it was the first time we'd ever been there. And it was, the competition was really great. We were going up against another really good team called Mass Defiance, and we were tied going into round 10. And it was, I think, the first year that an all women's team or an amateur team was going to get on the podium. So, we both had really good reasons to want to kind of this was a really big deal. And then we ended up winning that round by 1 point. And so we got on the podium, but that was probably one that really stands out to me. That was
that was a massive achievement. Like I say, it was the first time it had been done. You started the team with the idea, the goal was world championships, wasn't it? That was the goal of the full weight. Yes. So
absolutely. And there wasn't a lot of competition in the United States to take that position. I think there was a couple teams that they would get together maybe a couple months before nationals, but no serious competition there. So we were able to qualify for that to represent at the world meet, the first in that 2011. So we got to go to the world meet in 12, 14, and 16 for that.
Yeah. It's been a great performance. And the new four-way team, the new female team of Golden Knights, how is that doing at the moment? Are you involved in any way?
There's no women's team on the new which team?
The female team.
There's no women's team on the Golden Knights.
Oh, so I'm the team together. No,
I'm actually the only female on the Golden Knights that's currently jumping right now. So we don't have enough. If anybody is interested in doing that, they should maybe look into trying out. But we don't have enough women to put together a team.
Oh, I thought there was a new one being put together. I don't know where I got that into my.
There is a women's team with a Paraclete XP, but it's not associated with the Golden Knights. And those ladies have a lot of potential, and I'm really excited to see where they go.
Are you involved with them with training and coaching?
I fly for them every once in a while. I'm not coaching them or involved at the moment right now. No.
Yeah. So CISM, you're back from there. It'll be start of December. What's your plans then? What's happening for the rest of the year?
Well, I am actually putting together a packet. I'm trying to go to flight school right now. So I haven't gotten in or anything yet, so it's just in the works right now. But if I get accepted into flight school, then I'm gonna transition over to fly Blackhawks.
Wow. Wow. How does that begin then? How does that start? What's the process, Jen? You just apply and
so the process to put together a packet is kind of involved. So you have to take a standardized test specific for flight school. It kind of gives your aptitude for that. And then once you pass that, you have to get a physical. Like, it's pretty rigorous. It's more in depth than the civilian physical that you have to get for flying. And once you get that, then you have to send it down to Fort Rucker where the training is, and they have to sign off on it. And then for me, I need to get an age waiver approval. So I'm a little bit out of I think the max age for a flight packet is 32 and I'm 36. So I have to get an age waiver. And then once I get all of that done, then I have to they'll send my packet, put it together and send it to a board, and the board will review everything and select which people will fit the slots that they have. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to send my packet to the January board. So if that happens, and if I get picked up, then I'll transition back to the reserve, and I'll be able to, so I'll be, 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks in the summer doing the reserve thing again until I go to flight school, which will, I'll have to go down to transition to a different rank structure to be a warrant officer. And then when I go to flight school, it's like a year and a half down in Alabama.
Fantastic. Well, we could be having you back on Air Sports News in a couple of years as a Black Hawk pilot. It's another. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Good. Well, Jen, I'll let you get to work. I'll see you in a few days in Qatar. And, look forward to it, and look forward to speaking to the team and getting an interview with them while they're there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thanks for joining us, and have a fantastic day, and I'll see you soon.
All right, you too. Yep, I'll see you soon.